The taxi driver who refused one passenger. Every taxi driver in our town knew one rule: never pick up the woman who appeared at 11:45 at night. I did not believe them until I stopped my taxi for her. Before we begin, please subscribe to this channel for more emotional African folktales based on realistic events. Now, let's begin. My name is Chinedu, and this happened when I was 27 years old. I was working as a taxi driver in a busy town in southeastern Nigeria. I had been driving for almost 4 years. Most nights were normal. I would pick up workers returning home, students, traders, and people coming from evening events. But there was one thing every experienced driver had warned me about. A woman who appeared every night at exactly 11:45 p.m. They said she stood near an old bus stop on the road leading out of town. She always wore a long dark dress. She never waved. She simply stood there and waited. According to the older drivers, whenever a taxi stopped for her, she would quietly enter and give the driver an address. Then, before the driver reached the address, something strange would happen. The driver would suddenly become afraid and turn around. I thought it was just an old driver's story. One night, I was driving home after dropping off my last passenger. My fuel tank was almost empty. I was tired and wanted to get home. As I passed the old bus stop, I looked at my dashboard clock, 11:45 p.m. Then I saw her. She was standing under a broken street light, a woman wearing a long dark dress. I slowed down. She raised her hand. I stopped. She opened the back door and entered. "Good evening," she said. Her voice was very calm. "Good evening, madam. Where are you going?" She gave me an address, number 18 on Wahia Road. I knew the road. It was not far. I started driving. For the first few minutes, nothing happened. Then I noticed something strange. I could not hear the sound of her breathing. I looked at the mirror. She was sitting perfectly still. Her face was turned toward the window. I tried to start a conversation. "Madam, are you coming from work?" She did not answer. I looked at the mirror again. This time, she was looking directly at me. Her eyes were full of sadness. Then she said, "Please don't stop until we reach the house." I nodded. We continued. After about 10 minutes, we reached Wahia Road. I followed the address she had given me. Number 18 was at the end of a narrow road. But when I saw the house, I stopped the car. There was no house. There was only an empty piece of land covered with grass. I checked the address again. This was the place. But something was wrong. An old concrete wall stood at the edge of the land. Part of it was black from fire. I turned around. The back seat was empty. The woman was gone. I jumped out of the taxi. I looked around. "Madam," no answer. I searched the area. Nothing. Then I saw an old man standing outside a nearby house. I walked toward him. "Sir, please, was there a house here?" He looked at the empty land. Then he looked at me. "You don't know?" "No, sir," he sighed. "That house burned down 15 years ago." I felt cold. "Did anybody die?" The old man became quiet. "Yes." "Who?" "A woman and her young daughter." I could barely speak. "Do you remember the woman's name?" He looked at me carefully. "Her name was Ngozi." My heart started beating fast. "Why are you asking?" I told him what had happened. His face changed. "We picked her up." I nodded. He stepped backward. "My brother was a taxi driver," he said. "He saw her many times before he died." I stared at him. "What happened to him?" "He refused to take her one night." discovered that she was living in another state, I contacted her. At first, she did not believe me, but when I showed her the photograph, she started crying. She told me that her mother had always blamed herself for the fire. She had spent years wondering why her mother never came out. I gave her the photograph. She held it against her chest. Then she asked me one question. Did my mother say anything? I remembered the woman's final words. Tell my daughter I'm sorry. I told her. Adaeze cried for a long time. After that night, I never saw the woman again. The old driver still talk about the mysterious passenger. Some say she was a ghost, others say she was simply a woman looking for peace. I don't know what she was. I only know what I experienced. Sometimes, when I drive past the old bus stop late at night, I still slow down, but I never see anyone standing there anymore. And whenever the clock reaches 11:45 p.m., I remember the woman who entered my taxi one night and gave me an address to a house that had been gone for 15 years. Maybe she was never looking for a taxi. Maybe she was looking for someone who would finally listen. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more emotional African